A study of how teenagers in 8 countries use social media found that Facebook is not just on the slide, but it's actually basically dead and buried. This is from the Global Social Media Impact Study, which was funded by the European Union. Apparently, Facebook is now mainly a tool for keeping in touch with older family members, your parents, your grandparents. And a quote from Professor Daniel Miller of the University of College London, which was one of the researchers, he said, mostly these young people just feel embarrassed even to be associated with it. What I found interesting in all this was that these young people admitted that Facebook's functionality was fantastic. It was a great tool to use. They just didn't want to be caught using it. Brendan Guerrilli, you've been looking into Facebook. Does functionality not matter anymore?
I think it does, but I also think that what we're going to see is the shift in what a social media company does. We're used to thinking about these companies as synonymous with their platforms. And Facebook bought Instagram, and one of the things it promised to do was not screw it up. We've talked about this before. Yahoo bought Tumblr. One of the things they promised to do, we're not going to screw it up. And so what that says is what Facebook and what internet companies or what some social media companies are going to be doing is that they're going to be working with advertisers, I think, in the future, and they're going to be alert for what platform is going to be the most popular with the youngest generation.
Do you know anyone that likes advertising on Twitter?
Nobody likes advertising anywhere,
Period.
but everybody loves free stuff. That's the way this goes.
Well,
the only way you can keep something off of advertising is if you're brand new, you've got venture capital, and you're waiting for somebody to buy you.
So are you saying the only way for Facebook to stay cool with younger people is for it to buy other cool companies?
Yes.
I mean, is that the only
I
solution
think what
at
we're
this
finding
point?
out is that we thought that Mark Zuckerberg was Facebook. It's really Sheryl Sandberg. Wherever the advertising is coming from, you figure out how to apply that to a new platform. You let somebody else create the cool new platform. You buy it. You advertise it.
Okay, you brought up Instagram. Young people like Instagram, but Facebook owns it, and Facebook is going to introduce advertising to Instagram. Why don't young people make that connection and avoid Instagram as a result?
They will. I mean, don't you guys remember talking about Friendster? We're all old enough to remember Friendster.
Oh, yeah.
You know, eventually the same thing always happens. They introduce advertising, they screw up the experience, people
totally
move on.
agree.
I feel like that this is, I think we're now looking at a standard acquisition
You
cycle
would have
for
thought,
social
though,
media.
that the second generation internet social media companies would have learned their lessons from Friendsters and diversified their revenue base away from adonadvertising into something else. At the end of the day, the model
What's
just
something else? The million-dollar
I always think it's
question
interesting
is,
that when you
what's
log into
something
Facebook,
else?
I still do, because evidently I'm old enough.
only on your private screen, the
only
one
on my
that
pri-
so other
yes.
people can't see that you're logging into
What it
Facebook.
says is always free. And I think there's so many services. I would pay for Gmail. I would pay for Gmail if they would not advertise to me. But they're not. That's not an option they're interested in considering. So I don't know what the...
So
You'll never
I don't
get
see
young
what
people
else.
if you charge a fee, though.
Yeah.
So
You get old people.
from the holistic standpoint that you have at Bloomberg Business Week and what you do in economics, if I was to say to you 2014 is the year of for Facebook, for Pinterest, for Twitter and the rest of them, what is the year of? To me, it's a year of sweat.
It's a year of sweat, but I think the learning to diversify across platforms. They're going to have to be constantly on the search. I think there's going to be a new economy of people trying to create new cool platforms and large companies like Facebook trying to acquire them.
The chart, Mr. Zuckerberg, do I have your attention? That, of course, is from The Social Network, that wonderful movie. We are 3 years starting 4 years on from that movie, and it seems ages ago, the buzz from that movie.
I just don't think that we thought perhaps that Facebook would be dominant forever. And I think we're learning something that we already should have known to be true, which is that no social network would dominate forever.